Hey everyone, Jeremy here. Today I figured I would do a bit of a different video. I actually want to show off a little bit of my collection. Specifically my collection of old Nintendo event merchandise. So back in about 2014, 2015, Nintendo held events at places like GameStop and Toys R Us where you could get a bunch of free merchandise, a bunch of promo stuff, posters, keychains, all the like. You could get all of that for free. They were just hanging out as a promotional thing. This was mostly during the Wii U and 3DS era, so probably more or less as a PR strategy to try to bring back some goodwill and all that. And I figured I'm going to go over some of this along with talking about other events such as the Play Nintendo Tour, the Nintendo Holiday Experience, etc. So I figure we should go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start by pulling out of this old thing. This is, if you can't tell, this is an old Toys R Us bag. This is already a time capsule because this doesn't exist anymore. I'm keeping this bag forever. Anyways, there's a bunch of stuff in here. I want to go over it all. And we'll start. I don't even know what this is from. I've got this old Donkey Kong pencil here. This might be from a Play Nintendo Tour, actually. I'm not entirely sure. We'll start with a very common item that you would see. Lanyards! These were super common, and this is one for Amiibo, back when Amiibo was new, and we can actually see, it came with these cards to promote Amiibo, of course. So you got Mario, talking all this guff about Amiibo, Mario, Link, Yoshi, Peach, Pikachu, and then it's got the lineup, and then it's got the lineup for December 2014. So this is when all that was new, and you also could not get any of those Amiibo. Of these, I've got these three, and then what about Wave 1? I think the only ones I'm missing, I don't have you, or you. That's it. I have the rest of them. But yeah, no, this is back when those were super rare, so this is like the only time you would ever see any of those. Another thing that you would see way too much. Booklets! I love booklets. So, this is an old Smash Bros. U and 3DS. The Smash Bros. U and 3DS were a very commonly advertised game during this time. It's pretty nice, honestly, all things considered. You got a bunch of artwork in there. It's just a bunch of stuff about how to play the game and all that. But yeah, it just tells you about all this. And yeah. So you find a lot of those booklets giving you information on the game, but then you'd find stuff like the most important thing you've ever seen. The this card for the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire special demo. Fun fact, you can just download this on the eShop. It's got the codes and everything. This is so stupid. But yeah, so you can just download this. I already have the demo, so I never scratched it off. We gotta look into my goodie bag. A lot of stuff here. Another common thing you'd see a lot are stickers. So I'll show a few more. This is for Yoshi's Woolly World back on the Wii U. They would just give you all these sets of stickers that you could put on whatever. I've got this old one for, it's a little bent. It's definitely seen better days, but I've got this old one for Mario Kart 8, the original Mario Kart 8. And then at different events, they'd also give bigger ones. So this one just has a bunch of this. This honestly probably could have been from the Play Nintendo Tour because it's got Play Nintendo 3DS, but I actually don't remember. And then there's this one back when the new 3DS was coming out. So this was probably about 2015. This was kind of what Nintendo was promoting. But we do have more. We have this coloring book. Now, I know... Oh no, the coloring book. Oh, speaking of stickers, I used to have more of these. I don't know where they went, but yeah, there's a bunch of these Smash for Wii U and 3DS stickers with the Smash Ball. Another thing that they gave out quite commonly. Ah, there they are. Yeah, so let me make sure we're still going. Yeah, we're good. So they would give out this coloring book with some colored pencils so you could color it. These are just simple wooden coloring pencils, and this just has it's got some stuff in the bag, but Amiibo support and all that. And there's Kirby, Waddle Dee, Meta Knight, King Dedede, Kirby again, and then you got all that. So again, always for marketing. There's so much in here. Now, an interesting thing is this. This is a sketchbook for Pokemon Art Academy. One of the earlier events. They gave this out. It's honestly quite a nice quality sketchbook, all things considered. Just a little thing to note stuff on. So, another thing that they gave out was stuff for Codename Steam. It's the same thing. It's just a QR download to download the demo. I believe it's the, yeah, that should be, yeah, that's for the demo. It's all the same. It just gives you a little bit of information. Then you have these art cards that have each of the, major characters, for a game that I bought for $5 like 10 years later. Yeah, you'd have stuff like that. And then you have, stuff like this. This is actually an old code for Nintendo Badge Arcade. They did not give these out that often. This was actually at a later event at Toys R Us. But, yeah, sorry fellas, this code's been long used. Just kind of digging through here. They also gave out a bunch of random stuff, like, I don't know why, for Island Tour, they gave out these cards. They're just cards that have a character on them. They'd give these out. I actually don't even know where this ultimately came from. You'd also find promotional stuff from, like, GameStop. So, like, this was at one of the later events, I think. Yeah, 2015. This might have been early 2016 as well. But yeah, you could find these, pick these up as well. Showing off the new 3DS and all that. And then you've got this art card for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. It's got the date it's coming out and all the guff about that. It's a pretty nice quality card, honestly. It's very nice. Along with that, we also have the Kalos region. Just a little map of Kalos. Kind of showing it off, and it's got some more information. And all that. And usually this is what you'd find, but then you'd also find stuff like this. A mask from Yokai Watch, but again, this might have been the Play Nintendo Tour. It's got Disney XD. We'll come back to Disney in a second, because they actually have a part to play. Another little booklet for Fantasy Life this time. Showing you all the classes and everything. And give you a fun dragons that you can unlock. But yeah, you would usually find stuff like this. One of the oldest things, actually, that I think this is the first thing I ever got from an event. This This might have been in 2013 that they did this. I think it was actually probably like 2013. These little Pikmin stickers that you could put on your 3DS and stuff. Or wherever. They're just like patches basically. But yeah, this was like the first thing I ever received from an event. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Just has a little backing on it. You can put those wherever. You can see the yellow Pikmin's having a little bit of a think in there. But yeah, another older item. This is not originally mine, but it actually saw on my 3DS. This is something my friend got. It's a decal that you can put on your old 3DS. Fits right in, all that. Unfortunately, it started peeling off and fading. This is how I received it, basically. But yeah, this was another thing that you could get. Random sticker. Like I said before, pretty common. I've got more in here. Another lanyard, this time for Mario Kart 8. It's just got some basic information about the game and all that. Another thing that they give away quite frequently, buttons. There's a button for Smash for 3DS and Wii U. They'd give these out quite often for different games. Pretty stock standard one for... did I say Ultimate? I meant to say 3DS and Wii U. And so far you might be thinking, man, these prizes kind of stink. And yeah, to a degree they did. But there was a few kind of... Can you even... Okay. There's a few things that they would give out that were cooler. For one, sometimes they'd actually give out keychains, like acrylic keychains. So this is one of Mudkip for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. And basically how these events would work is you'd have a table, usually with like 1 or 2 Nintendo representatives, a bunch of boxes that had all these prizes in it, and you would just grab whatever, basically. Grab as much as you want, usually. This wasn't always the case, but usually that's what you would do. And you could get stuff like this. You just grab it off the table and you go. I don't know what the Sigma? I'm sorry, that was an involuntary reaction. So, there's 3. You could get all the starters. I've got Trico. There's also a Torchic, but of course, in more high demand than these 2. But yeah, you could get these really cool acrylic keychains. Some of the cooler stuff you could get. Another big thing. Oh, this is going to be kind of difficult to get out. Ooh. Ignore how bent it is. It's seen better days, but they would give out this Skullkin mask as well. This paper Skullkin mask, and it's got the stuff for Majora on there. Share your photo on social media. I should do that. That'd be pretty funny nowadays. But yeah, this is something. One of the things you could get. You just pick it up off the table and then try to store it for 10 years and have it not go so well. Yeah, so this was usually what they have. But another common thing that they would have are posters. I'm having to move some of the other stuff out of the way. But they'd have posters. I'm going to move this. I don't know how... in the shot this is going to be, because these things are pretty big, all things considered. This is an old one for of course Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, but yeah, it's like actual like map texture and everything. But yeah, you would just grab this off the table, however many you wanted, and yeah, so a lot of times you'd get posters. I have a lot of them. We also have this NES Remix one, and a lot of times they were also, not this one, but I'll get back to that in a second. But yeah, this is the old NES Remix one that you could get. And it really depended on the time that you went to these events. They'd have them once every few weeks, basically. There was, I think, 1 or 2 GameStops in my area, usually. in the busiest part of town that would host these events. Usually they were pretty early, but yeah, you'd also have these sort of posters. As I said, I've got more. I just gotta sort through it all, I think. Yeah. They have this one for a Happy Home Designer. So this was probably about 2015 with an entire checklist of all the ones from, I think it was series 1. So yeah, you'd have this. Yeah, this is what I was getting into. Yeah, this was later on, 2015. Got a Triforce Heroes one. And a lot of these would be double-sided, and so you'd also have Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. You'd have all these posters. This is actually not a poster. This is a ginormous sticker that has something on the back of it. It's a ginormous sticker. I don't know if it says it anywhere. But yeah, this is a ginormous sticker for Yokai Watch. I think this is at a Toys R Us event. Probably the best one, you've got Monster Hunter. But it's actually Xenoblade. Yeah, this was from, I think, yeah, also 2015. Again, double-sided. This is probably also, yeah, this is for one game, but yeah, Woolly World, double-sided poster. I'm sorry I'm having to put it this way. It's about the only way I can really get it. I don't think it's really in frame, but yeah, you can kind of see the poster. Curious, how's that looking? Yeah. Also have, ooh, gotta spread my legs. Splatoon, the original Splatoon. That was also 2015. Man, I'm old. Yeah, it's just got some art on it for Splatoon. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, let's get down here. Another giant sticker, I'm pretty sure, for Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. That's got a mark in it. Ooh. Yeah, I can tell it's dirty. It was sitting in storage for the better part of a decade. And then, last one I have for now is another giant sticker for a Little Battlers Experience. They'd also have random games. At these events that they would advertise, like, this was at, an old GameStop, or not GameStop, an old Toys R Us event. They had, this little standee for Fossil Fighters Frontier. I don't know. That's it. I don't know. Yeah, you could build it. It's seen better days. But it's got all the instructions and stuff, and you can assemble it. I might assemble this and start displaying it because, unfortunately, as I've said before, it has seen better days. So that's a lot of the general items that you'd find at events like this. And that's usually about all you'd get as posters, lanyards, keychains, stuff like that. There are some more, oh yeah, and booklets. There are some more interesting items that one could acquire. I just have to dig deep and look for them. And we'll get to that in a second, but first, I actually want to go over some more miscellaneous events that you'd come across, namely Pokemon. So during, I think it was specifically the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, I think it was the 20th anniversary, which was, for us, the actual celebration was in 2015, because that was the dry year, where we weren't getting any, like, new games, besides, like, spin-offs and the like, but yeah, So back in 2015-ish, and this is also going into 2016, they did little events where you could get some Pokemon stuff. I'll get to the cool stuff in a second. First, I just want to say rest in peace to this Pikachu. So, I think we'll see it on the back here. Yes, the 20th. You can see Pokemon20.com. I found this at my local Target in the parking lot, as you can probably tell. But yeah, you'd find stuff like this at these events. Around the time Pokemon Go came out, my local library had this little origami Pikachu. Give you the instructions, and then this was my pitiful attempt at it. Poor thing. But yeah, this was my attempt at an origami Pikachu, so figured I'd show that off. But I don't know if that was actually a part of the 20th anniversary of Pokemon. So during the 20th anniversary, they had this activity book that you could get. It's just got where you could draw Pikachu, who's that Pokemon, spot the difference, all that. But the most important part is flip the pit. Guys, I think I solved it. Anyways, this was the big money. Promo cards. Specifically at Toys R Us for Pokemon Generations. You can visit Toys R Us on these dates to collect special foil versions of the exciting cards. Yeah, February 27th, which was Pokemon Day, was Pikachu and Magikarp, and then April 2nd was Clefairy Meowth. I could have sworn I had these cards. I don't know if I actually ever did. If I do, I have no clue where they are. However, sorry, I'm a little disorganized, but Pikachu and Magikarp. So it come in this little plastic like a lot of promos do, and it's got the thing on the back. But yeah, you could get these by stopping by Toys R Us. And I believe it was also here where I got this pretty sweet poster. It's got all the original 151, and it's got a timeline of the games. I missed basketball practice for this. But yeah, very cool poster that they handed out online and all that. Very cool. Showcasing all that. It's got the... Ooh, that's not the way it's supposed to go. It's got the Toys R Us logo, Nintendo, Pokemon Company, all that. Yeah. One more thing I forgot to show before we get into some of the cooler stuff was... This might have been somewhere else, but I've got this old tattoo for Yokai Watch. These temporary tattoos. This might have been from the Play Nintendo Tour, because that's when they were really trying to pump Overwatch into our veins. But I also have this random card with Smash for 3DS on it. It just takes it to the demo, like the Codename Steam one did. Again, this was the kind of common crap you'd find at these events. You had to really find the treasure, which, unless I'm missing something else, I do not... Oh, I am. Last thing I'm pretty sure is just another sticker book. It's got the setting, and then you can put stickers on. This is actually pretty cool. Even though Sticker Star is kind of a shit game. But yeah, you just put little things on it. It's honestly pretty cool. Pretty cool of them to do. But now, it's time for the fun stuff. So, getting started with something minor. This is around the time that Super Mario Maker was coming out. Mario was, of course, celebrating his 30th anniversary. And so, if you went to Best Buy during a certain time period, you could actually get these badges for Mario's 30th anniversary. Quite limited. And you had to go somewhere specific for it. It's honestly, no! You saw nothing. But yeah, it's nice on the back. It's got, well, that kind of feels like a fridge magnet. Yeah, you could put this on. It's very cool. Huh. But yeah, so this is a very limited time thing. This is the only thing they were offering. And it wasn't like on one date. I think it was a range of time you could go to Best Buy and grab these. But it's now time to get to the actually cool stuff. So I believe it was at the Toys R Us event. I don't remember which one it was, because it might have been a combined event where you had this, and then you also got to play stuff like Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, and you got stuff like this. It might have been two different events. It was basically how it was, at least at the one I'm thinking of where you could play Xenoblade. It was one long table, and you could get a limited amount of items. You could only get so many. This was basically the exception, because there was a lot more people. One of the things you could get is the Mario Maker Builder hat. Now, this one is very dusty and very dirty. Hold on one sec. It's very dusty and very dirty, but how's it coming up on camera? But yeah, so you could get this a little bit. It's just a plastic construction hat, but got the little Mario thing on it. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Yeah, so this was one thing that you could get from that event. Now, what I'm about to show you were not actually things you could get from this event from my memory, but they were something that you actually could find at something you could find at these events is AR cards. So I've got two sets. These are all for Bravely Default. It's on the back. These are all for Bravely Default. It came in one big pack of 20. I don't know if there's actually 20 here. Might have been 10. 9. I might be missing one. I don't remember. But yeah, so you have these Bravely Default ones. You can kind of see them. Yep. You could use those in game. And then, here in the US, it was quite difficult to get a hold of these, the packs for these. It was quite difficult to actually get a hold of them. However, at GameStop events, you could actually receive packs. And here are two. I didn't actually get the pack myself. My friend gave these to me. But yeah, you could get these and open them up and you get a bunch of packs. It was pretty much the only way to get Kid Icarus AR cards here in the US, as I recall. Another cool thing that was given out at one point was this binder. This was an event binder that you could get for free back when Happy Home Designer was coming out. It's a full amiibo binder. You can see my whole collection here. It's just a full binder that you can put your amiibo cards in, sticking together. And like, it's not the best binder of all time, but like, they didn't have to give this away. You can see the frog game here. But yeah, it was really cool, and you know, gave us a way to actually store our amiibo cards. This full thing, you know, of course, it's got the guff on the back. Again, it's a promotional item, but still very cool. I use this to this day. This is my main binder for my amiibo cards. The last event item I think I have to show you is very cool. It's a full fucking flag. You can just pick it up off a table. It's... I hit the camera, no! We're gonna put that down now. But yeah, no, it's just a full flag. It's got a different design. It's, of course, the checkered finish flag. Super cool. Like, but yeah. So, very cool. Very cool. I wish they gave this stuff out more, but, it wasn't really all too common. And unfortunately, as many of you will probably know, the ending of the story is not very happy. As Nintendo stopped doing these around 2016, it started to fizzle out, and pretty much by the time the Switch came around, it was dead. However, not completely dead. So in my little bag here, which I will show at the end, I've got a couple things. Got a couple things in my bag here. They gave out Switch memorabilia. This, you may notice that this Nintendo Switch lanyard is a bit worn. It's because I actually used to wear it in high school. It was my actual like lanyard that I used. But yeah, once again, another lanyard. They loved giving these out. But yeah, they also gave away this pen and this badge here, which is, the thing's coming off. But yeah, I don't remember what event this was at, but they did it at some point, so we got that. That's cool. The last event that I remember happening was in 2017. It was, I think, it was after the Switch came out, but it was before Splatoon 2 came out. They had one last event where you could play Splatoon 2 early and get a taste of the game. But you could also get these cups. These are color-changing cups. Now, I don't actually have Cold Liquid on me, so I can't show you. You have to take my word for it. But these were cups that you could obtain. There was two colors, of course. You got pink and green. And if you put Cold Liquid in there, it would change color, and it's very cool. This one's a little bit more worn. It was used a lot more than this one. I've tried to preserve this one all these years. But, yeah, you could get one of these and try out Splatoon 2. It's pretty cool. But as I remember it, this was the last event, and they really haven't done an event since. Nor do I think they will. I think the era of these events are over and done with, and have been for many, many, many years. However, that's not the end of our story today. I have more things to show you. We have to rewind back to 2014. So, back in 2014, Nintendo hosted an event that some of you might know from recent articles and stuff, called the Play Nintendo Tour. 2014 was the first year this event was held, to my knowledge, and I was actually able to attend one day. The nearest one to me was in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Mall of Georgia. So we had to drive all the way down there, and we had a great time. One of the main selling points of the original Play Nintendo Tour was that you got to play Smash Bros. For 3DS early. This was even before Ness and Jigglypuff were revealed to actually be in the game. This was how early that was. It was beginning of 2014 that I remember. No, it was the summer. Yeah, it was the summer. But yeah, no, it was a great experience. And I have memorabilia from it. A lot of memorabilia, actually. So, to get this party started, another item, just real quick. This was an old event, apparently, 8/29, I assume 2015, to play Mario Maker 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. at GameStop. You got an exclusive poster. That's great. We'll leave that there. There's just so much stuff in this bag. I don't know what I've gone through. I haven't. So, Play Nintendo Tour. One thing that you see a lot at the event is this. This was a brochure that you can find. It's got the 2DS before its price drop. So it's touting that's a $129.99. Of course, as we all know, it went down to $80 eventually. But yeah, this is what was inside. You have this lineup of games. Wallet-friendly price of $29.99. Great. It's got all this guff showing you the colors and all that. It's got all these games. You find this brochure around a lot, touting classic games and all that. However, inside each brochure, there were a couple of goodies. I believe this one is the one that's complete. Yes. So, this is a complete brochure. And it came with two things. It came with a code for the Tomodachi Life move-in version download code. So the special thing about this, going back a little bit, demos on the 3DS, and granted, this sounds absurd, had limited uses. So you could only use them like 20, 30 times before they would delete themselves, basically. The special thing about this one, to my knowledge, this is the only demo that did not have that problem at all. Basically, this didn't have any uses. You could use this forever. Granted, it was still as long as the demo, but as the like actual Tomodachi Life demo. But yeah, that was the difference with this one. And it also came with this little banner thing. It's got Play Nintendo Tour 2014. It was a Target. It was a Target coupon. As you can see, I've got a bunch of these. I think I've got one more of these somewhere. I have no idea where it went. I don't really care. But yeah, you could get 10% off any Nintendo item or accessory in electronics. So yeah, oh yeah, here's the how to download your free demo. It's got the whole thing. You put in the code and you get the demo, basically. But yeah, so you can find a lot of these around. However, there was one special thing about the original Play Nintendo Tour, and that was the Mario Kart tournament. Now, each tour or each location that they went to, there'd be multiple Mario Kart tournaments in a day. And there was a prize if you won. So, this is my race thing. I just have to set that aside for later. Yeah, so this is my race thing. They give everyone this. I was race number 1. Baby, I was there early. It has the things here. I did make it to the semifinals. I am a video game semifinalist. The rumors are true. They just didn't mark it. But yeah, I was in the first race. And I think you only got to be in one race, or maybe you could be in more. I don't know. But they wrote my time on the back. I was 141.37 was my time on Toad Circuit. So the first round was time trial. So this was for the qualifier. You would basically, everyone would go in, try to get the best time on Toad Circuit. And if you got the 4 best times, there were 2 sides of the bracket. The 4 best times on each side of the bracket would go to the semifinals. And that'd be a 4-way race. The top 2 would move on to the finals. And it was each side, the last 2 would be on a team, and they would go against each other, and the 2 on that side that won would get a prize. But yeah, so this was my, that was my, I guess, card for my race. However, one of the prizes, if I remember correctly, was this poster. I mean, they were just giving it out too. The reason that I have is because I was sitting there and they were like, hey, like during the finals, like, hey, do you want a poster? Sure, here it is. This is the Mario Kart 8 poster that they gave out at the Play Nintendo Tour. You actually see that there's stuff on the other side. You can see it's been through hell, so it's a bit of a cynic. References. I do actually have a bunch of photos of me at the Play Nintendo Tour. I don't know where they are off the top of my head, but I do have them. Very cute and all that, whatever. But yeah, so this was back in 2014. This was Nintendo at a low point with the Wii U and everything. This was them trying to essentially make a comeback. They never did, but at least with the Wii U. But it was a very fun event. I had a lot of fun. One thing, though, is the main, I guess, premise of the event was you could go around and try all these different games, and you'd have a card that had all the different games on it. Once you've played all of them, and I think you had to do something else as well to get the last one, you could actually go to the claw machine. They had a claw machine with a bunch of plushes in it that you could win. I think you could only do it once, though if you have multiple people, you could cheese your way through it. However, here's my fun thing. I got something. So, I myself didn't win this. My mom won this, but basically, I don't remember taking the thing off. But basically, she won a Kirby from a claw machine, and this is one of my favorite plushes. Yeah, you can win stuff like this at the claw machine. Yeah, just a simple Kirby plush, but very cute and great that they gave us the chance. Probably the best selection of stuff they ever had in the claw machine was at the first Play Nintendo Tour. But yeah, very nice Kirby plush. Very, very nice. Boop! There you go, buddy. Made my friend jealous with that one. But that was not the end of the story. So in 2015, Nintendo ended up doing the... I gotta take a sip of something. Hold on. Yeah, in 2015, Nintendo did the first Nintendo World Championship since the 90s. Their first competition since the 90s. They did the Nintendo World Championship 2015. And I feel like that probably kept this from happening. However, this was not the last time that we get to play Nintendo Tour. Before I move on, however, we have to go on a little bit of a side quest. So, a certain company, old company that you might know of was actually at the Play Nintendo Tour. I told you this wouldn't be the last time you'd be seeing Disney. Because Radio Disney Georgia was at our Play Nintendo Tour. So they had people with microphones and all that. And they were giving out free swag, including this sticker. They even got me on the mic and everything. And they were giving out prizes. So I'm going to show you some of my Radio Disney stuff. One thing that they gave out, we're going on a bit of a tangent here. Oh, gee. Jeez Louise. They gave out, and forgive me, these have seen better days. The thing won't even close anymore. But they gave out pencils and erasers for the Muppets Most Wanted. The best Muppets movie of all time. So yeah, they were giving this stuff out. You can see on Blu-ray combo pack, August 12th, pencil and eraser set. They were giving this out. I think they might have given this out to everyone. I'm not sure. But yeah, they gave this out. Maybe just to kids. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, this thing has been beaten and bruised over the years. Never used, though. I never used them. Never used them. Yeah, you can just... Yeah, you go back in the bag. But yeah, so they were giving that out. But it was not the only thing that they gave out. It's probably the coolest thing they gave out was this drawstring bag they gave out. It's got, it's got Radio Disney on it. All that. So they were giving this out. I was trying to remember if there was anything in here. There's not. But yeah. So they gave this out to anyone. Or maybe not to anyone. Maybe just to the people that they ended up talking to. But yeah, they got me on the mic and everything. They were asked me a bunch of questions. And all that. And they ended up giving me a couple of keychain plushies of Yoshi and Mario. So I got these from the Radio Disney reps. They gave this to me because I was talking about how I wanted something from the claw machine. I didn't win anything until my mom won me Kirby. But yeah, so they gave me these plushes. It's pretty cool, honestly. And overall, the original Play Nintendo Tour was an awesome experience. One of my favorite events I've ever been to, and I have a lot of nostalgia for it. Unfortunately, 2016 was not as good. So, let's get into it. So, 2015 goes by, no Play Nintendo Tour, but they say it's coming back in 2016. And we were all so excited to finally go back to the Play Nintendo Tour. It was at a different mall, but it was nearby and all that. And what were the awesome prizes that they were giving out at this new Play Nintendo Tour? Shoelaces. That's it. This was the consolation prize I got for being in the tournament, as I recall, were Yokai Watch shoelaces. Level 5 made this? Poor bastards. I don't know if I got this. This might have been from a just regular GameStop event, but I also have this Yokai Watch, like, temporary tattoo. Cool. Yay, we all like it. How would you even... I assume you'd wrap it, like, around your wrist or whatever. I have no idea how this even works. I'm gonna be real honest. Yeah, I guess you'd have to wrap it around your wrist. Like, you'd have to bend it and all that. But, yeah. One of the main things they were advertising at this time were the Nintendo Vans. Maybe that's why we had the shoelace. I don't know. It was honestly kind of a crappy event. I don't really have much merchandise from it. I do have this. So this is roughly what the one from 2014 looked like. Basically, they'd put your stickers on this card, and basically you would, yeah, you want a bonus token. Basically, you could get a bonus token for the claw machine. Now, the claw machine has some cool stuff. It actually had the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire pre-order bonus figures in there. I wanted those so bad, but I didn't get them. Yeah, so, basically, you would fill this out, and once you got everything, you could go to the claw machine, you got multiple tokens, all that fun stuff. So, that's really it for 2016. Of course, it didn't come back in 2017, because of, I assume, the second and the final, Nintendo World Championship of our current century. Maybe we'll have some more. I'm not really sure. But this was it, really. This was the last Play Nintendo Tour that we had for years. However, we weren't completely out of luck. In 2017, I believe there was an event. There was a My Nintendo event that they were hosting, like a My Nintendo Tour or something, where you could get like a Mitomo water bottle or something. This is back when Mitomo was a thing. Unfortunately, the closest one to me was in Florida, and I would not be able to participate, so I didn't end up going to that. However, the next year, we actually had an actual event. We had the Nintendo Holiday Experience 2018. This event was kind of whatever. I do have photos. I don't know if I'll show them. If I release this video, I might put some photos in there showing it off. But basically, kind of reminiscent of the Play Nintendo Tour. Basically, they had a bunch of games set up that you could play, and Fortnite was one of them. But basically, everyone was there to play Smash Ultimate. So this event took place a whole week before Smash Ultimate's release, and so this was everyone's chance to play the game a week early, and we got to. I played with Incineroar. It didn't go well, but that's not the point. The point is that I'm still recording. Perfect. Now, granted, we weren't completely shit out of luck of freebies. They were giving away freebies. However, this time it was by random lottery. Basically, they would scan a QR code on your My Nintendo profile, and you would get a random item that could range from all sorts of things. And most commonly, it was stickers. Usually, it was stickers that nobody wanted. However, I was a lucky chosen one, because I got the Nintendo Switch swag bag. Look at it. I don't even know what this is. What the? Huh. I never noticed that before. That's weird. Guess we're, I mean, you can tell it's cheap. That's for sure. You could draw it. I guess it's like a pouch down there that you could like keep separate. But anyways, yeah. So this was one of the items you could get, was this large bag. You can kind of see it's been dangling It was dangling from my door for years. But yeah, so it's one of the things you could get, just a simple bag that you can carry stuff in. That's really it. Keep having to check. It's kind of difficult to show the whole thing. You can kind of get it there. But yeah, it's just a simple bag. It's got a Nintendo Switch on it. That's it, really. And this was basically the only thing they gave away at this event, really. I think they might have been giving away V-Bucks for Fortnite. I didn't care at the time, though. Do I regret that decision now? Quite possibly. And that was it. For a long time, we didn't really get anything else in terms of, like, Nintendo events. That was the death of it, really, was the Nintendo Holiday Experience back in 2018. However, we do need to talk about what happened in the in-between years. So, in the preceding years after 2017, Nintendo would do events here and there. And by events, I mean they would give away like one freebie. So, back in, I want to say it was 2017 or 2018, Nintendo actually gave away posters once again. It was 2018. For Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. They just gave these away at like GameStop and stuff. They were actually giving away posters again finally. On the back is a map of Kanto with the legendary birds. A bunch of other Pokemon. Oh! That must be the original 150, Mew's up there. And there's Mewtwo. Yep. But yeah, they were giving away these posters. And so we finally got new, like, merchandise. I think it was 2019 is where this last item comes from. I'm not sure, but it was for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Alright, okay, that's fine. They were just giving this away, I think, at, like, Best Buy. It's actually, like, it's metal. It's a metal keychain. It's got the Switch logo on the back. They were just giving these away randomly. It's strange. I was kind of surprised to learn that they were giving them away, especially for a game like this. But this was really the most we got. Pulling that out is also reminding me, I actually did forget an item earlier. One last time I actually did forget to show off was this Mario Kart 8 keychain. It's actually a pretty cool keychain for like a freebie. But yeah, it's just like one of those rubber keychains that it's only one-sided. That's about it. But yeah, no, it's pretty neat. That was an older one. Forgot to show it off. I do apologize for this video being so kind of out, a little discombobulated. We'll call the term. It's kind of hard, showing all this off. However, there is a glimmer of hope. For a long time, we just didn't get anything. The Marvel Ultimate Alliance keychain was the last thing I got from one of these events. However, recently we had a breakthrough. The Play Nintendo Tour is back, baby! So, last year, it was announced that they'd actually be bringing the Play Nintendo Tour back. Now, I probably would have gone down to Georgia, and I was looking for, like, oh, is it going to be in Georgia? Is it going to be in Georgia? And it wasn't in Georgia. I was like, oh, man, that sucks. And then I learned it was happening at the mall local to me. And I would just like to point out, you're welcome. You're welcome. For any of you living in my area, you're welcome. I told the Radio Disney reps back all the way in 2014 to bring it to our city, and they brought it to our city. We are back in business. The Play Nintendo Tour 2024, why is there a puzzle in front of me? So this is one of the things you'd get once you completed the card. And I will have to pull that out. There's a lot of goodies from this, but I'll just pull out what you got for completing it. Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm just going to pull out what you got for actually managing to complete your card. Because they brought the card thing back. You play all the games. And basically you get your card signed off. And you could get a chance at the claw machine. So you got a coloring book. This very easy puzzle. And, of course, you got colored pencils. You get colored pencils to, of course, go with the coloring book. And I believe you also got this with it. So you get 14 days of Switch Online. I guess if someone wants this code, you can have it. I got way too many of these. You can kind of see what's in here. You got online play, classic library. It's just all the guff about why you should buy the expansion pack, I guess. Yeah, so they gave you all this if you got the claw machine. However, there was more prizes that you could get. And as you can kind of see, I got way too many of these. Way too many of these. Ah! Make it end! It never stops! Doesn't stop! As you can tell, I went all 4 days because I felt like it. This is not a joke. I went all 4 days. It was very fun. I was very happy. It was definitely better than 2016 for sure. But, yeah. Yeah, it's about all we have in here. But, that was not all they gave out. They also gave out, if you asked, or they would ask you, they gave out these little wristbands. It's got Play Nintendo Tour 2014 on it. It's got, wristband there. This is the Animal Crossing one. They actually have multiple, I don't know. Yeah, that's the, other Animal Crossing one. But yeah, they gave these out. They also had, Pikmin as well. They might have had one more, but I believe these were the only two I actually got. I have like 3 of these. But, yeah, so you can kind of see what they have on them. This one's got Pikmin. It's very cool. However, that was also not all they gave out. They also gave out, this trade and play, for the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon, set. So there was a specific Pokemon a location that you could go to and you could actually get this. It's got fun stuff inside. Let's see. So you got a giant plastic coin, a guide to trading cards, this little puzzle thing, that you get a pack of, it's like a fun pack. I never open mine because usually there's not much of value in stuff like this, unless it's like from the cereal boxes or whatever. So, yeah, included this. But that was not all, because if you scanned your mind into a QR code, you would also get this bag. There is stuff in here. It's a lot of what I've already shown you. You can tell how much I went to this event. I'm trying to see if I can get it in frame. I might have to, yeah, so you can kind of see, it's got Super Mario on the front. On the back, it has just the My Nintendo logo there. You'd scan it and they give you a bag, 1 per customer, fellas. But yeah, so, it's all falling apart. No, but basically that's what they handed out. That was pretty much it. However, as with any Play Nintendo Tour, they had the cards that you put the stickers on. Oh, as you can see, there were different games you could play. So, you can kind of see here, was Pokemon there? Oh, yeah, that was from the Pokemon one. You could play Princess Peach Showtime, Nintendo Switch Sports, Mario Kart 8, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Pikmin 4. You can take photos with Animal Crossing, and then was Wonder there? Oh no, that was the voting one. Yeah, the rigged voting was also here, of course. We can't forget. And then you have to talk to a representative to get the last sticker, but you wouldn't get 2. You wouldn't get 2 goes. You'd only get 1. But yeah, you can kind of see. Play Nintendo Tour 2014. Very awesome experience. That I got to go to every single day. To the point where the staff started recognizing me. He's a mad genius. And this is the most recent event. This is probably all we might get in the future. It's just maybe an occasional Play Nintendo tour. But of course, if you got all 6, you gotta go at the claw machine. And I went to the claw machine 4 times. And I got 3 things. But I only got things on 2 of them. Basically, the things I have still, I have this Mario Kart banana plush. It's very cool, honestly. Very nice plush. High quality. They brought the plushes back again, thank God. This little hanger thing. And then we also have a Super Mario Koopa Troopa. However, with one of these, I believe it was this one. If I remember, it might have been this one. Maybe it was this one. I picked it up kind of like this. Ooh. I picked it up kind of like this. And I also got a cheap on one of them. And I gave it to my friend because he didn't win anything. Poor soul. Felt so bad. It was mostly out of obligation, let the record show. But I believe that is pretty much everything I have to show you. This has been an extremely long video. I do appreciate if anyone sticks around, if I even post this. This is mostly for me. I've always wanted to go through and talk about all of this, especially after the most recent Play Nintendo tour. It's something I'm so fascinated about. Just let's make sure we're still recording. I've been going for an hour. I could probably talk my head off about this all day, but that's about it. However, there's one more thing. I believe it's just one more thing that I actually want to show off. This basically has nothing to do with the actual events, but it happened at one of the events I was at. So, basically, after, this was a long time ago, this was like, probably 2015, or no, maybe it was 2014, I was at a GameStop and we were about to leave, they were packing up for the day, it was late, and they were basically like, hey, we have this Nintendo, or like, we have this Wii Sports Club box. It was sitting on top of like an Amiibo stand. Like, we're gonna throw it out. Do you want it? Hell yeah, I wanted it. Let me see how big. Yeah, there it is. This is a display box for Wii Sports Club. The worst game in the Wii series. But hey, you know what? I'm not one to judge. It's got all your favorite characters, including blonde guy playing baseball. Old House from House MD playing bowling. Cute woman playing tennis. Showing off useless features. Not Matt boxing. And that's, you know, it's cool. I keep it displayed to this day. It's very cool to have something that was, you know, a display box, not really meant for the public. I doubt this is worth anything, but you know what? That's okay. Beat up, bruised. On my shelf, it shall remain. That is the collector way. Anyways, that's it. We're not holding anyone any longer. I do not believe I have anything else to show. If I do, I might have to make a follow-up video. The only thing I will show are 2 things. One, I have this, this is from an unrelated order, but I have this Nintendo Saka bag that I got when I ordered something, so I just keep it here. Here's Mario. Here. Here's Mario. Got Mario here. It's a very cool bag. I just keep it with the rest. The other one was the actual bag I kept this all in all this time is this old Yoshi bag. Try to get it on camera. It's hang on. This is gonna be a little surreal. It's this old Yoshi bag. Anyways, it was from Target. As a promotion, you could buy it. There was another one that just had the whole cast, but I got the Yoshi one. This was a long time ago. Probably at this point, 16, 17 years ago. But yeah, that's what I keep all my event stuff in. It's very cool. And with that, I'm officially done. Hey everyone, future Jeremy here. So before I wrap up the episode, I want to add a little addendum to, this whole talk about Nintendo event merchandise. So recently I went to, a Japanese festival, local to me, and Nintendo had a booth there. And they were giving out free merchandise. So I figured I would show you that here. Now, keep in mind, a lot of this doesn't really have a story and doesn't really tie into what we've talked about in this episode. This is basically just the extracurricular. So we're going to go ahead and get started with it. So a lot of this is older stuff. Or not older stuff per se, but stuff that is not necessarily related to, the Switch 2. And that starts with glasses. So, these are Animal Crossing glasses. You can kind of see. It's got Nintendo right there. Got the Animal Crossing logo with Isabelle and all that. So, this is one of the many things. There was a bunch of different glasses, mostly for Mario characters. I know there was a KK Slider one as well. And you'll have to forgive me for the light being on, which is unusual. It is late. And I am tired. So, yeah. So, here's the glasses. They're pretty cool. Not in their original. They were in, like, a plastic wrap. It fell off. But, wasn't anything special. So, yeah. These glasses were one of the many things that could be picked up. The booth itself, it was pretty simple. It just had a Switch 2 with Mario Kart World. So, we played a race of Mario Kart World. I lost. No comment. Anyways, another kind of older one, but, a recent game. Super Mario Party Jamboree Luigi. There were quite a few of these. It's just a button. It's nothing fancy or anything, but, yeah, it's, for Jamboree. And there's a lot of characters. I know there was a Peach, and probably like a Mario, So there's a couple characters, but I got Luigi, got my man Luigi. And there was other stuff too. Like, I know there was an eraser set for Super Mario. There were Pokemon stickers. There were Princess Peach Showtime stickers. I didn't get a lot of it because I didn't want to take a bunch of stuff. With this just being like a, small festival thing. I didn't want to rob them. But I took a few things that were interesting, which leads me to the most interesting thing of all. Mario Minecraft stickers! Yeah! I don't know. I think it's game over, y'all. We have to have Mario and Minecraft. I think I see, like, Mario Kart Deluxe. It's just a random sticker assortment with Minecraft at the front of it! But, yeah, so this is one of the many sticker sets they had. This is a national treasure right here. Let me make sure. Yeah, you see this? National treasure. All that. Really good. So, they had this in like one big prize box sort of thing. You could take, whatever. But there was one more thing that I had asked for. They had a bag. I don't even know if I can get this thing shot. Yeah, they had a bag. A Switch 2 bag. This is the only Switch 2 related merchandise. And earlier in the video, I also showed, some of the other bags, including, I guess, it's kind of fun to compare it to this Switch bag that I showed earlier in the video. It's kind of, let's get them, from two very different eras. Yeah, this one's nicer than this one, I think. This one kind of feels cheap compared. But yeah, so just get some stuff here. And let's just, so just want to add a little addendum to make sure this video is complete and everything. yeah, want to add a little addendum to make sure this video was complete and everything. And yeah, that's really all I have. I'm gonna let my past self finish up, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of the video. Appreciate you all for watching and letting me talk about this. Yeah. Anyways, I'll hopefully do more of these videos. I want to go over my Blu-ray collection, my Blu-ray anime movie collection, maybe my special edition collection pre-order bonuses. You know, sky's the limit. But anyways, appreciate you all watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!